The State Department late today issued a new worldwide caution and travel advisory for American citizens, noting a higher potential for anti-American violence after the U.S. killed Ayman al-Zawahiri. He was Osama bin Laden's right-hand man and the mastermind, or one of them, of the 9/11 terror attacks. Now we're learning more about how the U.S. intelligence was able to hunt down the leader of al-Qaeda and take him out with a precision drone strike in Kabul. The U.S. figured out that Ayman al-Zawahiri had secretly moved to Afghanistan's capital city by tracking the terrorist's family to Kabul. Then they watched him for several months to make sure that they had the right guy and to get his pattern down. That's according to National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. The White House says this is a photo of President Biden's national security team briefing him back on the 1st of July about the proposed operation to kill the terrorist leader. They even showed him a model of the safe house in which Zawahiri was hiding. This is the box that contains it there on the table. Ayman al-Zawahiri's safe house was in a wealthy downtown neighborhood where high-ranking Taliban officials now live. Taliban officials. This is smoke from the strike. U.S. officials say the drone killed Zawahiri with his 2 Hellfire missiles when he stepped out onto a balcony. Officials say there were no civilian casualties in that strike.
This action demonstrates that without American forces on the ground in Afghanistan and in harm's way, we still remain able to identify and locate even the world's most wanted terrorist, and then take the action to remove him from the battlefield.
A U.S. intelligence official told the Associated Press that al-Zawahiri's safe house belonged to a top aide of a Taliban leader, the same Taliban who promised they would not harbor any terrorists after U.S. troops pulled out of the country. Well, back to Michael now. In an article in The Atlantic, a reporter writes, Zawahiri's killing probably will not have much of an effect on global terrorism because the younger jihadist generation has already ceased to regard him as a leader, spiritual or otherwise. Do you agree? Does this strike even matter?
I don't know that it matters a lot, Shepard, but I'm still glad the guy is out of the business, because he, along with bin Laden and a couple others, were among the very few who could conceptualize and inspire what happened here on 9/11. And that took such an extraordinary level of ability. You know, I don't say this with any affection for the guy, obviously, but I do have a certain amount of respect for the organization, for the effort, for the inspiration. These guys were genuinely dangerous because of what they had proven themselves capable of doing. Now, Zawahiri was not really doing that anymore, as you know. He was trying to keep himself alive as best he could, but he still represented a certain defiance, a certain ability to outlast the United States, a certain message that the United States could be somehow, outmaneuvered or at least outlasted. And I'm glad he did not outlast those brave men and women in our intelligence community who painstakingly tracked him down. So I think it matters some. It's not a major transformational turning point, but it's not trivial either.
Michael O'Hanlon, thanks very much.